Well, for the first time in 32 years, the Blue Jays have a World Series victory, drawing first blood against the Dodgers 11-4 here in game number one. Rob Wong joined alongside by Toronto Sun Blue Jays writer Rob Longley here in the aftermath at Rogers Center. And Rob, coming into this series, one of the keys to victory, I think, for the Blue Jays was to get to the soft underbelly of that Dodgers bullpen, and they definitely did in this one, scoring 9 runs off a pair of relievers in a 6th inning that really was one for the ages. But what did you think about this whole game tonight? Just the atmosphere, the home run power from the Blue Jays, the fans, just really one of those memorable nights.
Yeah, it really was. It was one of the more memorable nights in Toronto sports history, really. Addison Barger, the guy who hit the grand slam, the first pinch hit grand slam in World Series history, by the way. He said it was madness, and I think that's probably the best word to describe it. It really was, and especially in that 6th inning, when you score 9 runs against the reigning World Series champions, and you do it in such emphatic fashion with the fans going crazy. It's like they still haven't stopped enjoying the night. It really, really was a statement. But to your point, the way they got to it, the way that they did it was impressive. They knew that they had to get past Blake Snell at some point and get to that bullpen. And they did that very methodically. They actually made Blake Snell work far harder than he had in any of his 3 previous postseason starts this season. They built up the pitch count. They got a bunch of hits off of him, and it became inevitable. I think Dave Roberts left him in too long, but eventually it became inevitable that he had no choice but to go to the bullpen. And at that point, the Blue Jays offense was ready and waiting, and we saw that historic 6th inning.
Yeah, and it's interesting to hear Dave Roberts after the game said there are similarities between the Blue Jays and Brewers as far as contact and putting the ball in play, but the Blue Jays, as we saw tonight, can also put the ball over the fence, which is something that the Brewers were unable to do in the NLCS. Bo Bichette playing for the first time in seemingly forever, getting a start at second base as well, Rob. To be honest, I held my breath a little bit watching him go up the middle for that ground ball, but he made an amazing play on it, had a base hit in his first at-bat, had a key walk that sparked that 6th inning as well. What were your impressions of his first action in quite some time?
Yeah, pretty much that. Pretty much impressive. Pretty much he showed us enough that he's going to still be a factor in this World Series. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't play tomorrow. I mean, he did a fair bit of work tonight, 3 at-bats, and that great play that he made in the infield, a great out at first base. John Schneider mentioned it too, Rob, as you just did, that getting that key walk in the 6th inning, that kept that inning moving along, and it just showed the kind of hitter that he is, that he's able to do that. The single wasn't a thing of beauty, but it was also a hitter's single. He found a hole and he got it. We saw him running. He wasn't running very fast, obviously. The second time he got on base with that walk, it was at an obvious point in the ball game that you put in a pinch runner. That made some sense. But something to build on for sure. He certainly didn't look out of place, and when you have that kind of a weapon in your lineup and at your disposal, it only adds to it. As Schneider said before the game, we got to score runs against this team. Now, they scored a bunch of them tonight, but they're going to need Bo Bichette some more offensively before the series is done.
Well, at least for one night, everything went well for the Blue Jays. We'll see how they fare. Game 2 set for Saturday night here at Rogers Center. For Rob Longley, I'm Rob Wong. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you on the next one.